It was an important day in Sacramento yards. Railfans were excited, making notes and taking photographs. Collin's sister Aurora had arrived on the railroad and was put on display alongside Collin and Jake, and were the center of attention. So that's Collin's sister, right? Asked Jacob. Exactly, said Harrison. He just told us about her when he went to visit her. I am surprised that Collin has a sister, said Clinchfield. Just like me. But I never thought Aurora was a very famous engine herself. Who cares? A lot of fuss about nothing if you ask me, said Ronald. And he steamed away. Later that night, Collin and Aurora were talking to each other. The railroad is a lovely place, Collin, Aurora said. I'm glad you like it, little sis, he said. I'm just glad you came here for a visit. It's a shame Regional can't make it tonight, or yesterday. Yeah, I know, but he'll be getting his chance one day. And with that, the two engines fell fast asleep. Collin's sister went home early the next day. Ronald was still complaining. Good riddance, he said. Chattered all night. Who is she anyway? I told you, said Marcus. She's famous. As famous as me? Nonsense, said Ronald. She's famouser than you. She's been hoeing in excursions and can go over 100 miles per hour before you were even thought of. Huh, so she says, but I didn't like her look, said Ronald. She's got no dome. Never trust domeless engines. They're not respectable. I never boast, but I say 100 miles per hour will be easy for me. Goodbye. Ronald was soon out on the main line with the express, but he had to wait until he was clear of the next station to go really fast. She did it, I'll do it. She did it, I'll do it. Steady, Ronald, said his driver. We aren't running a race. We are then. But he said it to himself. Suddenly, Ronald began to feel a little strange. The top of my boiler feels funny, he said. It feels as if something is loose. I better go slower. But it was too late. At the viaducts, they met the wind. It was a teasing wind which blew suddenly in hard puffs. Ronald thought it wanted to push him off the bridge. No, you don't, he said firmly. But the wind had other ideas. As Ronald approached the second viaduct, the wind put its plan into action. It curled round his boiler, crept under his loose dome, and lifted it off away into the riverbank below. Ronald was most uncomfortable. The cold wind was whistling through the hole where his dome should be, and he felt silly without it. At Roseville Yards, every freight car laughed at him. Ronald tried to wish them away, but they crowded round no matter what he did. On the way back to the shed, Ronald wanted his driver to stop and fetch his dome. We'll never be able to find it now, he said. You'll have to go to the works for a new one. Ronald was cross, but very embarrassed about it. By the time Ronald got back to the sheds, all the engines were there waiting for him. And I'm sorry to say, some of them couldn't help but laugh at him with his missing dome. Never trust domeless engines, said a voice from somewhere behind him. They are not respectable.